The University of Michigan, fresh off a historic national championship win, now faces a huge challenge off the field, an appeal against tough penalties given by the NCAA. After a season full of highlights and pride, the university has to fight to keep its good name and achievements in the middle of a big controversy. On August 15, 2025, Michigan officially announced it would fight the penalties from the sign-stealing scandal, an event that has made their success look bad and started a national discussion about fairness in college sports. This announcement was made at a press conference with many media and students there. In its appeal, the university says the NCAA was too harsh, misunderstood the rules, and even ignored important proof that could have helped Michigan. The university's legal team worked day and night, getting papers and arguments ready to defend their school. For Michigan, this isn't just about trying to get a lighter punishment. It's a direct challenge to how the NCAA investigates and makes decisions. This appeal process is also getting national attention, starting talks about being open and fair in enforcing rules. Michigan's leaders say that the penalties, especially the money and recruiting limits, are very tough and could hurt the future of their sports programs. They worry that the long-term effects could damage the team's foundation and stop them from getting talented new players. This appeal definitely has high stakes, as it could bring more public and media attention. But the university's administration insists that too much is at stake to back down, and they are ready to face whatever happens for fairness. Meanwhile, the players and coaches are living with uncertainty. Recruiting is messed up, and how people see the team is also at risk. Many are wondering how their future will turn out in this uncertain situation. But the university's decision to fight sends a clear message. Michigan stands strong with its team. With a spirit of togetherness and strong determination, they are fighting to protect the good name, honor, and future of the school they are proud of. In the middle of the big mess that shook college football, the name Connorstalions suddenly became the main focus. He was just a low-level analyst at Michigan, but the sign-stealing plan he came up with started a huge investigation by the NCAA and shocked the sports world. Stalions, who was also a former U.S. Marine, used his discipline and strategy to set up a secret operation that went on for several years. He got a few friends to pretend to be someone else and secretly record opponent signals at different games, a clear break of NCAA rules that forbid direct scouting. After a deep investigation, the NCAA found strong proof that this plan involved 13 opposing teams and happened in 52 different games, showing how big and organized this operation was. NCAA officials called it one of the boldest and most planned violations in modern college football history, showing how serious this case was. Even though stealing signals itself isn't against the law in sports, the way Stalions did it, which was direct scouting and recording without permission, clearly broke the rules of good behavior and NCAA rules. To keep things fair and honest in competition, the NCAA strictly forbids direct scouting. Because of this, Stalions was suspended from the team, and he eventually chose to quit his job. He also got a harsh punishment called a showcause order for 8 years, which made it almost impossible for him to work in college football during that time. This punishment basically closed the door on Stalions' career in college football, leaving a bitter mark on his professional journey. This case is a strong warning about the dangers of too much ambition and how important it is to stick to good behavior in college sports for coaches, players, and support staff. What Stalions first meant to do to help his team ended up with him becoming a symbol of a national scandal that shook the very foundation of American college football. The NCAA penalties were wide-ranging, designed to impact Michigan for years to come. The program faced 4 years of probation, with further violations risking even harsher consequences. Recruiting took a big hit, a 25% reduction in official visits and a 14-week ban on recruiting communications. Former coach Jim Harbaugh received a 10-year showcause order for not cooperating, while current coach Sherronemoore faced a 2-year showcause and a 3-game suspension. Other staff, like denardrobinson, also received multi-year showcause orders. These penalties created huge hurdles for Michigan's future competitiveness and coaching stability. The message was clear. The NCAA intended to make an example out of Michigan. The money penalties were huge, over $20 million in fines, plus another $50,000 fine for the school. The NCAA also cut 10% from the football program's budget and 10% of their scholarships for the 2025-26 school year. What hurt most was Michigan losing out on their share of money from postseason games for 2 seasons. This cut off a really important source of money. These punishments didn't just hit the sports department, but also the money for the whole university. The NCAA's goal was clear: to make breaking the rules a very expensive and long-lasting lesson. Michigan now has to deal with these losses while still trying to be good at sports. Michigan's leaders quickly pushed back, openly supporting Coach Moore and criticizing the NCAA's findings. Athletic Director Ward Manuel called the penalties too much, especially the idea of a postseason ban. Coach Moore, while respecting the process, stressed his focus on the team and the upcoming season. The university's official statement accused the NCAA of making big mistakes and misunderstanding the evidence. Michigan wasn't asking for a break. They were getting ready for a legal fight, challenging the NCAA's whole case. Their united front aimed to assure players, recruits, and fans that the program was still strong. The message: Michigan believes they've been unfairly targeted and will fight to clear its name. Michigan's appeal says the NCAA didn't follow its own rules and went too far with its decision. The university argues that the rule breaking was done by a few bad apples, not a problem with the whole system. Michigan will show proof that the coaches didn't mean to be involved and that the investigation was messed up. This appeal also questions how the NCAA handles things, pointing out mistakes in their process and showing they were unfair. By making the NCAA's actions the main topic, Michigan hopes to make people doubt if the punishments are fair. In the end, they want a fairer and more balanced outcome, one that punishes the people who did wrong, not the whole team. What's at stake is the future of Michigan football and what this means for how the NCAA enforces its rules. Michigan's plan includes saying the NCAA's investigation process was unfair and didn't have enough proof. They argue that the committee made guesses without direct proof, especially about the coaching staff being involved. The big punishment for Harbaugh's supposed lack of cooperation is a main point of disagreement. Michigan says the NCAA's demands are crazy and that Harbaugh's actions were within his legal rights. The university also points to when the investigation happened and how public it was, saying it was affected by media pressure. By challenging the process, Michigan is tapping into a bigger unhappiness with how the NCAA enforces its rules. A successful appeal could make the NCAA rethink how they investigate and punish their members. Even with all the craziness, Michigan's leaders have really come together to support Coach Sherronemoore. Moore, who's already under a lot of pressure taking over for Harbaugh, now has even more challenges because of the NCAA's punishments. The strong support from athletic director Manuel shows that the university really believes in Moore's honesty and his ability to lead. This togetherness is super important to keep things stable and to make sure the players and new recruits feel good about everything. The team can now have a us-against-the-world attitude, turning these tough times into something that makes them stronger. Moore's focus on getting ready and being tough sets the tone for the whole football program. His leadership will be tested, but having the support of the school's leaders gives him a strong base. Michigan is betting on Moore to guide the program through this tough time and into its next chapter. With the appeal going on, Michigan is in a waiting game, but the work hasn't stopped. Every day, players and coaches keep up their practice routines, trying to stay positive and focused even with all the unknowns. They know that the future of the program is on the line, and every step they take now will decide what happens next. The NCAA Committee on Infractions Appeals will look at the case, and this whole process could take months. Every paper, every argument, and every piece of proof will be looked at very carefully before a final decision is made. The whole Michigan community is waiting with bated breath, hoping that fairness will win out. Meanwhile, Coach Moore and his team are getting ready for the 2025 season, determined not to let the drama off the field mess with their focus. They are teaching discipline and teamwork, making sure every player stays motivated to do their best, no matter what the appeal decision is. The appeal's outcome will shape Michigan's future, either by making the rules less strict or by sticking with all the punishments. Every decision will affect who they can recruit, how they play, and even the spirit of the loyal fans who always fill the stadium. Michigan isn't looking for a free pass, but for a punishment that fits what really happened: a few bad apples, not a whole corrupt program. They want to show that honesty is still the main foundation, and that individual mistakes shouldn't tarnish the university's great name. The road ahead isn't clear, but the goal stays the same: to compete, to win, and to keep the program's legacy alive. Every victory on the field shows how tough and dedicated the whole team is. Michigan's fight is about more than just football. It's about protecting its name and its future. Even with all the challenges, they are staying united, believing that a bright future can still be achieved together.